Stars, it's Rox. This is future Rox, actually, who's sitting down and editing the video and realizing that I forgot to talk to you guys about our next week episode of Top of the Blogs, number 500. It will be live, and I wanted to make sure that I made the announcement to you guys that we will be going live at 8 p.m. Eastern next Thursday. That is the 17th of November. I want everybody out there to put it on their calendars because I really want everybody to participate. That is late for your girl, but I wanted to make sure that, you know, most of you guys are home from work and can sit and watch and be a part of the comments and, you know, can talk and all of that. So I wanted to have it not too late, but late enough that everybody can participate. I'm excited about next week, you guys. I'm nervous still, but I have faith that we'll have a good time. I think we're gonna have a good time. So you guys make sure you put it on your calendars. Top of the Blogs, number 500, live next week, Thursday, November 17th. 8 p.m. Eastern. See you then. Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So hey, rock stars. So your girl ain't feeling too good today. Just finished walking blue. Have to be at work. And I need to get through this video. My sciatica. I thought that if I took blue for a walk, it would make my hip feel better, but I think it made it feel worse. And I am in a lot of pain right now. I haven't had any real big problems with my sciatica in some years. So I'm hoping that this is just a flash little thing. Sometimes those happen, but they don't stick around for a long time. But when my sciatica really flares up, I might be having it for about a month. So I'm hoping it's not going to be one of those. I think that me taking my Motrin and just kind of sitting and relaxing is going to help it. But yeah, I don't feel good. On top of that, I got bubble guts. Okay, stomach is fucked up. Not that you guys asked that. TMI, Roxanne. Anyway, you guys, we're gonna get through this video because I got to be at work real soon. Well, let me not say real soon, because I've noticed that some of you guys are clocking my time, trying to figure out why am I, you know, where am I supposed to be at any given time. Y'all mind your own fucking business, okay? This before work. Anyway, you guys, let's start off with election day results. So I guess if we were to look at the election day results for the entire country, then we'll say that it was a good day for democracy. At least that's what our president, Joe Biden, has said. I think that the Democrats are very happy that the red wave that the Republicans were all warning us about did not quite happen. Okay. It wasn't quite the red wave. It might have been a watered down version, maybe a little bit of some pink here and there, but definitely not the takeover that the Republicans, the takeover that the Republicans thought was going to happen. Of course, we still aren't really sure where the power of the Senate lies because of a few things. You know, these battleground states, the states that are the most important and usually are the ones that sway the power within the House and the Senate. We still waiting to get on results. We ain't got the results from Nevada. We ain't got the results from Arizona. I just don't understand why it takes this long to count some fucking ballots. Like, what are y'all doing different than the rest of the fucking country is doing that everybody else can get their shit in, and Nevada and Arizona always has what is the fucking issue? Okay, we need to change it up. Hire some more people. Do something. I don't know what it is. Okay, but we still don't know what it is happening over in those two parts. Then, of course, Georgia. The country is disappointed with Georgia. At least half, if you are part of the Democratic Party, then you are disappointed in Georgia. Listen, I voted. We tried. It didn't happen for Stacey Abrams. I had a feeling that it wasn't going to happen, as I have been watching the polls for, you know, a few weeks beforehand. Of course, the polls don't always tell a true story, but I had a feeling that Brian Kemp had some things working in his favor. One is the fact that he, not on purpose, but he did distance himself from Trump when he refused to, overturn the election results here in Georgia. And of course, Trump was so pissed at him, and you could tell that Brian Kemp was so upset about it. Okay. But Weissap was so done with him and had just completely just talked about him so bad. And Brian Kemp still was able to not only withstand the barrage of insults and everything else from Weissap, but he actually, I think, gained the respect of many people here in Georgia, that he was able to, that he stuck to his guns and did what he was supposed, that he wanted to do. And then, of course, he had Mike Pence, who endorsed him. And I think that helped him. I think that the rural cities and counties in Georgia, I think many of them got out to vote, and definitely wasn't voting for Stacey Abrams. Now, we ain't got to, I ain't got to point out to you guys that Stacey Abrams is a progressive Black woman. And just many people here in Georgia are not ready for that. Okay. On top of that, I will never understand the white women who vote, who continuously votes outside of their fucking interest. They are the ones who have decided in this case that Herschel Walker will be having a runoff with Raphael Warnock, even though Raphael Warnock had more votes than Herschel Walker. Neither one of them had 50% of the vote. You have to have 50% of the vote here in order to be declared the winner. And since they both were under 50%, and that was because there was a liberal that was running who got like 2% of the vote. That is the reason why they're heading towards a runoff that'll happen December. Is it December 4th? Somewhere in there, the first Tuesday in December. I'm so over it. You guys, the elections just wear me out. I don't know if it's more so now, or is it because I'm an adult and I'm more aware. When I was younger, I didn't really care, but I am so fucking over the elections. I'm tired of the text messages. I'm tired of the commercials. I'm tired of everything. Yes, voter fatigue is a real thing. And it was a big race here. I told you the people was on the streets, but not only was Stacey Abrams' people and Raphael Warnock's people on the streets this time, but also Brian Kemp and Herschel Walker had people on the street too. So they adopted her method of getting out there, boots to the ground, and it did help them. Okay, in Brian Kemp's case, it actually pushed him over and made him win. He actually won by quite a big margin. So that let me know that Georgia's just not ready for a Black woman governor. It's sad, but it's true, you guys. This is the South. We must remember that. Stacey Abrams has a bright future ahead of her. I'm sure there are still many, many people that would love to have her in whatever capacity. I'm wondering if she will go and lend her help to the White House. We know that she didn't take any position in the White House because she was planning on running for governor. Now that ship has sailed, maybe she will be heading to Washington, D.C. We still will see. Okay. As far as Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker, I'm so disgusted. I am so disgusted in those results, mostly because when you look at the numbers of how people voted, basically, white people, men and women, voted for Herschel Walker. Black people, men and women, voted for Raphael Warnock. Hispanic, Latino, they voted half for Warnock, half for Walker. Okay, so I guess their next order of business, as they are campaigning for these next 4 weeks in this runoff, is to either try to reach those Latino, Hispanic audience. Am I supposed to say Hispanic, child? I don't even know if that's politically correct. Okay, Latino. Y'all told me I'm not supposed to say Latinx. So the Latino, Latina community, and try to get some of those people over onto, Warnock's team. But the fact that white women voted for Herschel Walker, even when you know for a fact that they are trying to abolish abortion rights altogether, and you still, I just don't understand. I don't understand. More and more, when we talk about, you know, women sticking up for each other and everything, you just realize that when you start talking about women, women's rights and women supporting women of all races and of all ethnicities and things, it just doesn't seem that white women seem to take themselves out of that group some kind of way. Child, it is. Do I have any white women rock stars out there? I'm sure I do. Okay, and I just want to know, why is it that you guys would vote for such an ignorant ass person, such as Herschel Walker, who is trying to make sure that you or your child in the future will never be able to get abortions again? Why would you support something? Your child, I don't know. But yes, there was a huge upset where Dr. Oz and what's the other man name? The bald head one who had a stroke earlier in the Fetterman, is that his name? That was in Philadelphia. Let's see, where was that? Child, that was in Pennsylvania. Let me not try to be going by memory. I didn't even put all of this down in my notes, so that's why I'm just kind of going off my head. But yeah, John Fetterman did upset, because I think that they thought that Dr. Oz had it. And actually, no. Fetterman did defend his seat, and he will still remain as the senator there in Pennsylvania. And there were some other areas where they thought that the Republicans were going to take it, and they didn't. Okay, so that's a good thing. McCarthy thought that he was going to be the Speaker of the House. They had all but moved Nancy Pelosi out of the seat already. But, and even though that could still happen, it ain't happened yet. We got to get through these damn late ass counts. And we also got to get through the runoffs. Okay. And really, again, it's going to kind of hang in the balance until we figure out what's going to happen here in Georgia. I'm going to vote again in the runoff and everything. But you guys, I have to tell you that I am so tired of it all. I'm tired. And I wish that we didn't have to do this runoff coming up. But so I'm just saying all that to say this. For those of you guys who possibly didn't make it out to vote for the midterm elections, well, here's your chance to make a difference in the runoffs. Let me tell you, the Republicans are going to really work hard to make sure that the people get out and vote for Walker. So the Democrats, it is up to you. I am telling you this. You need to make sure that you make the special effort of getting out and voting. Okay? It just has to happen. And that's that on that. Okay? We done talked about politics long enough. Let's move on to the gossip. All right, next story, you guys. Juan Dixon. Boy. I said, boy, that Juan show stay in our mouth, don't he? The nigga ain't never around, but he stays in our mouth, you guys. It seems that Juan Dixon has found himself in some boiling hot water as he is a part of a sexual assault and lawsuit that's been filed against the assistant coach at Coppin State University, where he is he's part of the coaching staff there as well. Remember, he was hired there. We saw on the show, what was that, maybe about 4 years ago. He got hired on as the assistant coach over there, or part of the coaching staff. I'm not sure if he's assistant coach, associate, whatever he is, but he's definitely one of the coaches there. Now, apparently, the story is a little confusing. I had to read it about 4 or 5 times before I could figure out what exactly was going on. But so I think that this is what it is. If I have something wrong, you guys are welcome to correct me. Okay. But what I think happened is there was a basketball player who was catfished by an assistant basketball coach by the name of Lucien Brownlee. Okay. Of course, the basketball player didn't know at the time that that was his coach that was catfishing him. Well, he didn't know he was being catfished, obviously. And while they had this pseudo relationship online, Brownlee apparently was able to get the student to send pictures and videos of themselves in intimate nature, sexual videos, pictures, sent it on to the coach. Now, I don't know if the coach, what I wasn't able to figure out was, I guess the coach wanted a relationship with this kid, okay? When the kid, whose name is Iben, I believe, Iben Williams. IBN is actually his name. So I'm assuming that it's Iben Williams. When Iben didn't want to be involved with the coach, then the coach ended up releasing the videos and the photos. He published them. Everybody saw them. Of course, Mr. Williams was embarrassed and all of that. And so there was a problem at hand. So the player, I'm assuming, found out that it was Brownlee who was the one who had catfished him. And he went to the rest of the coaching staff to let them know what was going on in hopes of them, correcting Brownlee, maybe possibly getting rid of him or whatever. And nothing was done. Part of the coaching staff was Juan Dixon. Okay. And apparently the young man had went directly to Juan Dixon, and Juan Dixon did not do anything to help protect or assist the young man in taking care of Brownlee and, what he had been doing to the student. The student said that he had been harassed, tormented, and sexually assaulted, even before the photos and the videos even came out. So because nobody did anything, even though they were very much aware of what the coach was doing to the young man, the young man decided to sue everybody, the coaching staff at Copen State University. Okay. And apparently Juan Dixon was caught on phone having a conversation, I guess, with the victim and saying, yes, they were aware of what the coach was doing. But like I said, nothing was done about it. Okay. The lawyer said that they treated the student awfully. Not only did they question him harshly, but then they retaliated against him. They removed his financial assistance. I'm assuming he was there on scholarship as a basketball player. They removed his financial assistance. And that meant that he couldn't attend the school any longer, or he had problems making sure that his bill was paid. And then the reason why the student is also upset with Juan Dixon in particular is because apparently Juan Dixon was responsible for putting Brownlee in a position of superiority over that student, that basketball player. And even so, he had a position of authority over the player, even though he knew that coach was harassing that basketball player. Okay. So I think that is the story. Basically the coach wanted to have a relationship with this kid. The kid didn't want to do it, and the coach retaliated, and the coaching staff knew and didn't do anything about it. That's the gist of the story. Okay. And not a good look, definitely not a good look for Juan Dixon. Part of being a part of the coach is that you have to protect your players, and, these are kids, and you in a position of authority definitely need to be aware, and handle these kind of situations as soon as you can. Okay. And the fact that they let that just go on and on. Yeah, it's definitely not a good look. Also, another reason why we now look at Real Housewives of Potomac and see why Robin has been dragging her feet with this whole marriage thing. I have a feeling that, and also the prenuptial agreement, I have a feeling that Robin was aware that this was probably coming down the pike, and in an effort to protect herself, that's also another reason why she's determined to get this prenup, which I definitely with this lawsuit hanging in the balance, ain't no way I would marry Juan Dixon right now. Okay? If you ever needed a fucking excuse, this is the best one you got, girl. Don't do it. Do not get your money wrapped up in that. Because if the boy is found to be telling the truth and, you know, and if Copen University is found, you know, held responsible for what happened, then, you know, Juan Dixon, you don't want to get your shit mixed up, your finances mixed up in anything, any type of settlement or anything that might come out of that. So, girl, you just cool your jets. You stay a fiance. And, yeah, no, but a bad look for Juan Dixon. He didn't strike me as the type that would do something like this, but of course we don't know Juan Dixon other than what we see on TV, okay? So that means we don't know him from a fucking can of paint. However, I would like to think that, you know, you would not allow a child to be mistreated in this way, when you know it's happening. If you know it's happening, you know, and you are in a position to help, I would hope that he would have helped. So that's a pretty disappointing story, right? We'll see what happens, but it definitely is a lawsuit that has been filed with Baltimore City Circuit Court against Lucien Brownlee, as well as the Cullen State University basketball coaching staff. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's too bad. I actually am disappointed in Juan. Next story, okay? Oh, so much shit's been going on with Twitter. I mean, I know we talked about it last week. Basically, Elon Musk, now that he is the new and sole owner of Twitter, there's been a lot of changes. Let me plug my phone in because it's about to die. There's been a lot of changes and people aren't happy about it. Okay. Now, I told you guys last week, I believe that they laid off half of the staff. So they went from 7,000 employees worldwide down to 3,500 employees worldwide. Okay. I saw the story about him sending the email to Twitter in Africa, which recently opened in Ghana, I believe they said. They all got laid off just like everybody else. However, there was no severance package or no type of stipend or payout for those employees. They was just fired. So of course people are saying, look at how you treat the Africans. Okay. Then of course here in the United States and other parts of the world where there were layoffs, some people were, you know, given severance packages and whatnots, but not the higher ups. Okay. The executives, of Twitter, apparently one of them was due to get $60 million in the buyout. That was part of the agreement. But now that Elon Musk fired them, he did not lay these people off. He fired them. Now they're saying that maybe he won't have to do that. Maybe he won't have to, you know, go with the agreement because he fired them, and he won't have to possibly pay these people, the bigwigs of Twitter, their money now. I know and you know that they ain't gonna let that shit settle. Okay, they are definitely gonna get some lawsuits going. Actually, Elon Musk has quite a few lawsuits going. People are suing him because they're saying that he did not give any adequate notice that he was going to be laying people off. You know, they just basically said to check your emails. And when the people did check their emails, it was like, today is your last day. Okay. Apparently they gave that day that he laid everybody off, Twitter was closed worldwide. That meant that nobody could go on the premises. Nobody's key card would work to get in the buildings. He shut the shit down. Okay. Now I'm sure that Elon Musk hasn't gotten to the place that he is in his life, not being a shrewd businessman, and definitely not surprising. You know, once you get to making a certain amount of money in your life, you make these decisions, good, bad, or indifferent. You make a lot of people either very happy or very upset. It all is is part of the game, you guys. So, yeah. that's what's going on there. On top of that, I told you guys last week that they are now thinking about charging for Twitter. It was going to be $20. Stephen King, the horror author, the famous horror author, said that if he charged $20, he was going to leave the platform. So Elon Musk brought it down to $8. And I believe that that is where they're going to settle. If you want to have a blue verified check, then you will be paying $8 a month. And if you already have a blue check, if you don't want to pay the $8 a month, then you will not have your blue check any longer. Okay. Now, Elon Musk complains that Twitter has been losing a lot of money, and that is the reason why he feels that he needs to charge to use the platform. He said that the advertising dollars alone does not support the platform, and that eventually the platform was going to be gone because they couldn't afford to keep it going at this rate. Now, is Twitter been around for I don't know how long, but the advertising seemed to be been happening just fine then. But now that Elon Musk is there, and I'm sure he would like to recoup his $44 billion that he had to spend purchasing the app. Remember, he didn't want to do it. Remember, he tried to pull out and Twitter sued him because they was like, nah, nigga, you ain't fixing to sit up here and say you gonna give us this money and then you decide you ain't gonna do it. We didn't already set up our lives based on that decision. So they won. He lost, I guess. And now he has Twitter that looks like it's going to take a lot of his attention. Okay, this is going to be one of his bigger business ventures. I know that the cars is one thing and the space travel is another thing, but Twitter is a whole nother beast, you guys. So we'll see how it goes. People are upset with what's happening over there. It's going to be a lot of shifting around until the dust settles. But we also found out that there were a number of investors who actually gave him money to get I keep wanting to say merger. It's not a merger. To get this purchase off. We found out that Puffy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, okay, Sean Combs, Brother Love, whatever you want to call him, we found out that he actually is a silent investor in Twitter and that he gave Elon Musk $10 million towards the purchase of Twitter. All right. In the grand scheme of things, you guys, $10 million towards $44 billion purchase, that ain't even 1%. That's not nothing, okay? So I wouldn't even say that Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Brother Love, I wouldn't even say that he is a partner in there that even has any decision-making power. This is strictly a move for him to make some money off of Twitter. He ain't got to do nothing. His little, however many, points of a percentage that this is, he'll just make some money off of that. It happens a lot. There are probably quite a few celebrities that are silent investors that we wouldn't know anything about. I don't even know how Diddy's silent investment became news, but yeah, he gave $10 million. On top of that, Elon Musk also got money from, big Wall Street banks, loans, in order to make this deal go through. Basically, the man need to recoup his money. Okay. Now he has decided that, he's going to, monetize Twitter, and for content creators that put content on Twitter, they have an opportunity to make money. Okay. And you can charge for people to watch your video content. All right. Now, Twitter, of course, we know for years and years and years have had free porn on there all this time. Well, now those who have pornographic material that they've been putting on Twitter, they will be able to charge for those videos if you want to watch $1, say $1 or $2, much like the OnlyFans platform, and they should be able to make money from that. All right. 13% of all of the content on Twitter is pornographic material. All right. So there is money to be made there. We know that people like to watch sexually explicit videos. Twitter has the content. The shit has been free all this time. People are paying for it over on OnlyFans. Why not do the same over on Twitter? So that is something that he is looking into. And it won't just be explicit videos. If you have content that you put on Twitter, videos and the such, he's going to allow you to monetize those videos and, you know, make a little change from it. But you guys, Musk has said that the plan for his social media platform is to make it the most accurate source of information on Earth without regard to political affiliation. Okay, so in Musk's mind, this is going to be a platform where freedom of speech is number one. You will be able to put whatever you want on there, and you know, everybody is welcome. Everybody is able to do what they want to do. Okay, it still sounds like a platform for disaster, but we'll see how they're able to, you know, to get all these things happening. You know, when you get freedom of speech, there's a lot that can happen there. I mean, we've already seen it. I told you guys last week of people saying nigger and a whole bunch of hate speech and racism and white supremacy and all of that. This is definitely a playground for those kind of that kind of content as well. So we'll see how it goes, you guys. But yeah, it's a whole lot going on in Twitter. I have never really been, I mean, I'm on Twitter obviously, but I'm not like a super Twitter head. Instagram is where I'm always, that is my sweet spot. I don't do Twitter too much. I don't do TikTok. I have an account over there, but I don't be on TikTok. And you know, YouTube, that's where I land. But we'll see what happens with Twitter. I could take it or leave it. So if shit get too crazy over there, Roxanne can easily withdraw herself from Twitter and move on with my life. So we'll see what happens, you guys. But a lot of changes over at Twitter. You guys, next story, pretty sad story. I will not lie, I don't know much about Aaron Carter, but former pop singer and younger brother of one of the Backstreet Boys, Nick Carter, Aaron Carter has died. Apparently on Saturday morning around 11 in the morning, there was a call from his Lancaster, California home to the police that he was found unresponsive in the bathtub at his home. And when the police got there, they declared that he was, that he had passed, that he had died. We're assuming that he died from an overdose, even though they have not said that yet. But from what I understand, Aaron Carter has been spiraling downhill for some years now. And, everybody, you know, when the news came out, I don't think I saw one post that didn't say something along the lines of, this is really sad. I'm not surprised though. Okay. Apparently Aaron Carter has come out. Now, he was a Disney star from what I understand. Yeah, I think he was a Disney star, and we remember seeing him, cute little white kid, blonde hair, you know, singer and whatnots. We also know that many child actors, many child entertainers, for whatever reason, their path to adulthood and becoming a part of, you know, becoming a regular part of society just seems to escape them. I'm not sure if it's because of what they went through as child actors. I don't really know what it is, or as child entertainers, but there has been many people, especially from Disney, that I don't want to say it's been a curse, but you know, there have been many child entertainers from Disney that as adults haven't had the happiest of life. We know that he's had identity struggles. They say that he had mental issues in 2019. He did come out and say that he had multiple personality disorder. He had battles with schizophrenia. He had acute anxiety and manic depression. Okay. I had seen the last picture that I saw of him, you know, when they were posting that he had passed. He looked horrible. He looked empty. He had tattoos on his face. He looked like he had been through a lot, and sadly so, now we find that he has passed. Now, apparently him and his brother Nick Carter, they have had a turbulent relationship at best over the years. I'm not sure if they still had a relationship at this point, but of course Nick Carter did mention, you know, how much he loved his brother. He put out a statement saying that he loved his brother, and even though that they did have a difficult relationship, of course he did not want to ever hear that his younger brother had died. Okay, so sad story. Like I said, I don't know much about Aaron Carter, but a lot of you guys requested that I talk about it. I just, you know, it's just too bad. It's just too bad that people who have had the opportunity to, you know, at the start of their entertaining career, you know, for it to just kind of get worse instead of better as they get older. That's a sad situation. And, you know, even with all of his struggles, nobody wanted to see the man die. He was 34 years old. I didn't realize he was that old. My God, I am really getting old, because he was a kid when he first came out. Okay. But yeah, 34 years old, was not married, however, had a new baby girl, a relatively new baby girl, 11 months old. He leaves behind her and many other family, friends, and fans. Rest in peace to Aaron Carter.